Hey folks, it's Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be an inspirational spirituality from the FWG blog. Basically, I'm going through reviewing my new section I'm going to add to the FWG blog on Baby Steps Overview, which is not out there yet, so don't go looking for it. Or at least as far as April the 2nd, 2010, it's not out there yet. It'll be out there shortly, maybe in a couple weeks or so. Anyway, every time I read this sentence or this paragraph, I always feel so inspirational when I read it. I feel like, you know what, I need to just stop reviewing this for a second and share it with everybody. So here I go. Let's go good. This wind's got a little bit of wind here today. Okay. Isn't it beautiful how everything starts fitting together when you know the real truth? Logic, personal experience, science, and natural principles working together to help you understand the world you live in, and at the same time setting you up for long-term success. Isn't it beautiful when your spiritual path doesn't limit your ability to think, question, or learn, but encourages it? How many times have we seen religious people fighting the obvious facts? It's ridiculous. A real spiritual path is an endless process of learning and growing. It's never a closed-minded endeavor. I don't know, every time I read that I get inspired. I'm like, man, I need to just share that, you know? I mean, seriously, a great spiritual path, it doesn't violate anything that's truthful. So notice what I'm saying. Isn't it beautiful how everything fits together when you know the real truth? The real truth fits everything. You know, when you say Jesus is God, that don't fit nowhere else in life besides the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fit nothing. There's no place else in the world where Jesus is God. You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen in Judaism. It didn't happen in Quran. It's not in Buddhism. It's not in Taoism. It's in science. It's nowhere else in life that Jesus is God. Nowhere! Okay, then the next sentence. Okay, so remember, isn't it beautiful how everything fits together when you know the real truth? Logic, personal experience, science, and natural principles working together to help you understand the world you live in. What could be wrong with that? All those things working together. Logic. He walked on water. Well, guess what? Nobody else walked on water, so it doesn't really make sense. It violates natural principles. It's total bullshit, and you know it, and I know it. But it's like nobody ever says, "Hey, you know what? I'm calling bullshit on that." What is bullshit? Somebody needs to call it out, and that's what I'm doing. Calling it out. I'm saying I don't believe it. I think it's bullshit, and I think a lot of other people know it's bullshit, but maybe they just don't have the courage to say it. Okay. And next, plus too, when you understand a spiritual path like that, it just sets up so much success in life. Oh, and not only sets up success in your life, but it sets up success in your kids' life and the people around you. So anyway, next one. Isn't it beautiful when your spiritual path doesn't limit your ability to think, question, or learn, but encourages it? I don't know if I've told this before, but I was out camping. I ran into 4 guys I'd never met before. They were from Georgia, up here camping out at a place, and I ran into them. And the guy goes, well, sometimes when you're a Christian you have to be closed-minded. I was like, oh my God, OMG, you got to be kidding me. To be close, if your spiritual path, it requires you to be closed-minded to be part of it, you're in a fucking cult. Make no mistake about it, you're in a cult. Sometimes. And it's funny too when he said it, he knew it was bullshit. He had to look down. He couldn't look me in the eyes when he said it. He just looked down. Sometimes when you're a Christian, you just gotta be closed-minded. Really what he's saying is he's got too much time invested. His family's too invested in that spiritual path. His friends are all wrapped up. If he really sought the real truth, what he would have to do is give up. What he'd have to do is give up all his family, friends, and all his social and stuff, the social connections. So he's too heavily invested in it, and he didn't have the balls to pull himself away from it. So that's what's really going on. They're too heavily invested in their bullshit system, and they can't handle. They're not men of courage. Like, and he's a football player, college, you know, probably somewhat of a badass, but he wasn't a real badass. Real badasses take on the whole fucking world. Sorry. Just pisses me off. I'll tell you what else pisses me off. Seeing people wear those Live Strong bracelets while they're eating a latte or drinking or eating an ice cream. I'm like, yeah, you're living strong, alright. Give me a break, hypocrite. Okay, sorry. It's my soapbox. Okay, and again, how many times have we seen religious people fighting obvious facts? I mean, You know, science, I ain't saying science is right every time when it comes out and says something, because sometimes it is wrong. Like, eggs is bad for you, eggs is good for you, eggs is bad for you, eggs is good for you. I mean, you know, but some things are obvious. Like, you know, it's like, okay, evolution's happening. It's obvious evolution's happening. They fight it, and they're like, oh, no, that ain't what the Bible said. The world's fucking flat. Evolution didn't happen. God just made it. Man was first. Woman and man. Man was born first, and he took a rib out of her and made Eve. No, they didn't evolve together, Billy DKY. You can't be contradicting the Bible. You can't put yourself in an authoritative position. Yes, I can, for one simple reason. Because I actually seek the truth, and I know the answers. That's why I'm telling it. Okay. It's ridiculous what I've said. A real spiritual path is an endless process of growing and learning. Again, there's evolution. It's never a closed-minded endeavor. If you're being closed-minded, you're being a fool. Okay, and here's what I've noticed too with people who are closed-minded. Really what they're saying is, I'm gullible, and so I'm going to shut my mind off so I don't even have to deal with being tricked. But, you know, I like, for me, myself, I'm okay with being tricked a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So what? Who cares? You can trick me for a little while. You ain't going to trick me for long. Okay, I had one other thing I wanted to say, but I can't remember now. Since when I get going on a rant, I sort of forget sometimes what I wanted to say. Gosh. Oh well, I guess it didn't matter. Anyway, folks, I just wanted to share that with you. And oh yeah, on the FWG blog, it's the first link in the information section, which a lot of you already know. Like I say, I'm putting a lot of work in trying to get that thing really up to speed, because really, most of y'all know as well as I do, Christianity is an antiquity philosophy. We have evolved over the last 2,000 years. It is time for somebody to step out and really say what needs to be said and have a unified, complete system. And that's what I'm doing. I'm taking away the scissors out of the kid's hand and replacing it with the ball. We need to get rid of this Christianity and Muslims, all of them. I ain't saying kill them. I'm saying that system needs to be completely replaced with what I'm doing here, because it's like I said, it's based on, it doesn't violate logic, personal experience, science, or natural principles. So, and again, it's not going to be a fast thing. Obviously, Christianity, Islam, and all these other religions are basically really rooted, heavily rooted into the psyche of people, and it's going to take a lot of time to break them down. But however, the people who follow this system here, because it really works, and it is the evolution, you will be more involved in the people around you, and as a result, you will be able to lead them, exploit them. When I say exploit them, I don't necessarily mean hurt them, but you're going to be able to manage them. So, when you're setting your kids up to be the dominant forces in this world by following the system and teaching it to them. So, and obviously, I never once say, hey, you need to follow me. I put the stuff out there. I'm just sharing information. That's all it is. I look at myself like, basically, if you're my brother, I was staying at my brother's house there for a while, and he basically has he had a neighbor who's real good at woodworking. I was marveling how good he was, and that's the way I look at myself. I'm sort of like the next door neighbor who's just a neighbor, and following the truth is my hobby, which actually is my life, but you know what I'm saying? So, I look at myself as like Bob, I'm probably going to get the name wrong, Villa, what is the guy that does all the woodworking and stuff? I'm sort of like that, except the truth is my hobby, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, till the next video, later folks.